Anton didn't notice her right away. First, a movement. A blue dress, a white collar, a tired hand, sliding a damp cloth across the marble tabletop. He stood in the doorway of the restaurant, still wearing his coat, and watched her wipe the table, slowly concentrated, as if that simple movement contained all that was left of her. Then she raised her head. Their gazes met for a split second, and both froze. Marina. Anton held his breath. 7 years. 7 years had passed since that morning when she closed the door to their apartment behind her. Quietly, without a scene, without tears, she simply left. And now she stood before him. Her belly rounded under the blue fabric, shadows under her eyes, but her back was straight. Proud, still the same. She looked away first. "Good evening," she said in an even voice. "Shall I show you to a table?" A professional voice, alien. As if they had never lain side by side on long winter evenings listening to the snow swirling outside. "Marina," he said quietly, "your table is by the window." She didn't look at him. "Follow me, please." Anton followed, thinking only one thing. What? How is she here? He knew that after the divorce she had left Moscow. He knew that she worked in publishing, that she had her own small but stable life. Someone had once told him that she had remarried. He didn't bother to elaborate, didn't want to know. Now he did. The restaurant was almost full. People at the tables were laughing. Glasses were clinking. Music was playing softly somewhere. Marina put the menu in front of him and took a step back. "Wait," Anton said. "I'll be there to take your order in a few minutes." "Marina, please." She stopped. A long pause. Then a barely audible sigh. "Anton, I'm at work." "I see." He looked at her rounded belly, at her scuffed shoes, at the way she held the tray tightly with both hands as if it were her only support. "I just want to know that you're okay." Something flashed in her eyes. Not anger, not resentment. Fatigue. The kind of fatigue that no amount of professional calm can hide. "Everything's fine," she said. "I'll be back in a few minutes." And she left. Anton sat without opening the menu. At the next table, an elderly couple was quietly sharing dessert. The man was saying something to his wife, and she was laughing quietly in a homely way. Anton looked at them and thought about how easy it was to lose what seemed forever. They didn't break up because of infidelity, not because of money. They broke up because he was always somewhere else, in negotiations, on business trips, on the next project. Marina waited a long time, then stopped. He remembered her last words. "Anton, you are building a life, but not with me." He didn't understand then. Then he understood, but it was too late. When she returned with a notepad, he ordered a tea and asked for a minute. "Marina," he said quietly, "I won't pretend nothing happened. Just tell me one thing, are you okay? For real?" She was silent for a moment, then slowly sank onto the edge of the next chair. The room was busy. The manager looked away. "My husband left 4 months ago," she said without intonation. "I'm left alone. The apartment is rented. The publishing house closed in February. This place is temporary until I find something better." "Marina, don't." She shook her head. "I'm not telling you this out of pity. You just asked." Anton looked at her and understood that in front of him was an unbroken person. In front of him was a person who carries too much but does not bend. It was always in her. He once took this for granted. "How much time do you have left?" he asked. 2 months. 2 months. Pregnant, alone, renting an apartment, working as a waitress. "Is there anyone nearby?" "A friend's mother." "The mother is far away." "Friends?" She smiled slightly, sadly without bitterness. "I have friends. I'm coping." Anton put his hand on the table, without touching her hand, just next to her. "I can help." "Anton, listen without a past. Just as one person to another. I have an apartment that is empty. You can live there as long as you need. No conditions, no obligations." A long silence. A spoon fell somewhere. Someone laughed. The clock above the bar ticked quietly. "Why do you need this?" she finally asked. He thought, wait a second, honestly. "Because I've been building something important my whole life. And only now do I understand what exactly it is that I missed. I can't bring back the past, but I can choose not to turn away now." Marina looked at him for a long time. There was no love in her gaze, no hope for anything old. There was something else, a cautious trust, the kind that is born not from feelings, but from fatigue and common sense. "I need to think," she said. "Okay." She stood up, adjusted her fartuque, then quietly added, "Thank you for asking. Most people just stare." And she went to another table. Anton finished his tea. He didn't know if she would call, didn't know if she would accept help. But for the first time in many years, he felt he'd done something right, not for business, not for his reputation, but simply because he'd seen someone, and he hadn't passed her by. 3 days later, she called. They met in a cafe on neutral territory. She talked for 2 hours, not about the past, but about what was needed now. He wrote down documents, the doctor, the crib she hadn't yet bought,